Hi, I'm Drew Taylor with DEXON USA. In this training video, we're going to cover what you need to do to initially configure the system when you receive your new DIMAX-Pro. We're going to cover the topics of creating sections and users. So let's get started. Okay, here we are at the system config page within the DIMAX software. Again, this is HTML software and I've logged in as an administrator, so I have full access to configure the system. So first we'll cover these sections. I already have 3 sections created. One is a matrix switcher. That means it's using non-scaling outputs. If I edit that section, you could see I could choose a different section type. I can rename it. You select which inputs are available in the section and then which outputs. Now I have more than 8 outputs in the system, but since I've selected matrix switcher from the dropdown, I only see non-scaling outputs. If I would go to my video wall, you can see I have 4 other outputs within the system, and it's a video processor. If I were to select presentation matrix, I would see these same outputs because the scaling outputs can be used for video processor or presentation matrix. So you select which outputs, which inputs you want available in the system, give it a name, and choose if you want serial control. Now I have two systems here that are both video processor. The one driving my video wall is this one with outputs 9 through 12, and I created one called multi-viewer because this actually has our PIP 8 output card, so I can view 8 different sources on the one output. So that's the sections overview. Once you're done, there'll be a little apply now, and the system reboots to apply the changes to your sections. Then your sections will be seen at the top in these other tabs, like my NS for no scaling, DIMAX, my video wall, my multi-viewer. We'll get into what all those sections do in later videos and how to set them up. Next, we're going to look at users. So if I go in and create a user, type in user, hit create. You can choose a password if you want, or no password. They could just type the username in. And then you define what privileges. You could create another administrator. Do you want this user to be able to configure inputs and outputs? You know, maybe you just want this user to have video control like routing and audio routing and run and modify layouts in the video wall section. But you don't want them to configure inputs and output timing. Maybe it's the end user or a not so technical user that you don't want messing up your output timings. So once I've created this user, I can give them access to one of the sections, such as the video wall section. Great. Now up at the video wall, you see the privileged users that have access to this are the administrator and the new user that I just created. So if I log in as that new user, I would only see this video wall section. And I would not have access to do system configuration or to the other sections. Why do we have sections? So sections can be used for, let's say you have multiple video walls in a system, or if you have a video wall plus some auxiliary monitors you want to control as a matrix. It allows us to section out the DIMAX-Pro into different groups of functionality. Well, that does it for our initial DIMAX-Pro system configuration. Thanks for watching and tune in for our next videos.